Welcome to 10 questions and 10 answers in your health problems. Today we have a privileged guest, Dr. Abdulkadir Nurfare. Actually, he is the CEO of the Medisom company, which is a kind of health tourism company. I know him very well for a while because he was the guy. He got a rotation in internal medicine in Gazi University Department of Internal Medicine. So, welcome, Abdulkadir.
Thank you, Professor Alpaslan. I'm very glad to have you today in our office in Medisom headquarters. And very glad also, very delighted to be your guest in this program today. Thank you.
Thank you, Abdulkadir. It's our actually privilege to be here. Abdulkadir will answer 10 questions about the health tourism today with his partner. The first 5 questions for the Abdulkadir and last 5 questions for his partner Khalil. And we can start with the Abdulkadir actually. The first question will be, what is the health tourism and what is your job description within this window?
Yeah, thank you. Health tourism, it's a program or mechanism in which patients who need health services go from the country to another country for sake of treatment. So it is like a migration process from a country to another country. It may be associated sometimes with both treatment and pleasure, and sometimes only treatment. It is something related about the cost, quality, and of the services. So from high quality, from high prices countries to the low price country with the good quality, or from a lack of services to where we can find the service, treatment services. In our company, we have 2 departments, or 2 sections. One section is dealing with medical tourism, and I'm a consultancy. I'm medical director of that department. What I do, or my job description in this, is that I consult patients or clients who need a treatment or medical treatment. I just match the right cases or the right patient to the right doctors in the health system, health providers in Turkey. So we have a good network of doctors, hospitals, and private clinics. We work in different hospitals and different specialists or physicians. When we receive reports or patients, my job is just to look the right case and to build that case with the matching and to match that case with the appropriate doctor or the service provider.
Yeah, I understand. Then if we summarize that the health tourism is a kind of 2 aspects, right? The first one is the patient may need actually how do you say, more fancy health service then they would like to come to you, or they may lack of resources in their country in terms of the healthcare, and then they admit to you and then try to find the best doctor or optimal healthcare, I should say, something like that. I think, as far as I understand. This is important. I know that you have many actually clients or patients from different kind of countries. I would like to ask for the second question, why Turkey for the health tourism?
That's right. That's a very good question, because Turkey, because of this location, it's a center where patients from Africa, from Asia, from Europe can easily arrive it,
or from Russia or some Turkish countries.
Yeah. And the other thing is that the cost, it is a Turkey has high quality doctors, high quality infrastructures in terms of healthy sector with a good avoidable prices. So you can find like a quality which is equal to that of Europe countries, but different avoidable price. That's why it's very important for some patient is coming from Africa and Middle East and Balkan countries, Russia, and even from Europe. So that's why it's like a good destination. The second thing which is very important is that Turkey is a country of tourism country. That's why patients can come here, have their treatment in this, and even can enjoy with this.
As for the leisure activities.
Yeah.
Interesting. Then the location, geographical location of the Turkey is very good in terms of the kind of hub within this part of the world, and also you can get affordable the good service, healthcare service with affordable prices, which is very important. That means it's an optimal place to have a kind of health service. I can understand. My third question is, which kind of process patient may have from the start to the end in this health tourism?
Yes, that's right. Very good question. Normally, we receive medical documents, medical reports from client, from patient who need this medical treatment. They send their documents to us, medical reports, and then I received that. I shared that I sent that to the health providers, like doctors, hospitals that we work with them. And then from there, they assess that reports and give us like a treatment plan and package price. And from there, we share this treatment plan and the procedure with the price to the patients before they come here. So patient decides according to the plan of treatment and also the price, the package price. They decide to come here, and then they start from there. If they decide, they start visa documentation and other process. We receive them from the airport. We bring them to the clinic and to the hospitals with the doctors. And after completing their procedure, their treatment, we say bye-bye, and we try to also to make a post-treatment follow-up when they go back to home country, and that's our main that's the main process that we normally go through.
It looks pretty complex actually. From start to the end, you need to deal with every kind of problem of the patient, right? It's great. My fourth question will be, which kind of cases mostly you have in here?
Yeah, that's right. Very good question. We receive patients from different countries, like from Africa, which is mostly East Africa, and even from Europe, North America. So the common cases for example, from Africa, it's more advanced treatment required cases, like a cancer treatment, which may need chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and oncosurgery. We receive also organ transplant, like kidney transplant, liver transplant, and also even the cochlear transplant in eye. We receive patients also from Africa, like urological problems.
Complex spine surgery like scoliosis.
We receive orthopedic and trauma, spinal surgery. We receive patients for neurosurgery patients, eye surgery patients, and infertility and IVF.
I see.
Plastic surgery and constructive surgery patients. So in general, there are 10 categories which come here most commonly for treatment in Turkey.
I see. Then from the Europe or North America, they need some kind of more fancy.
Mostly we receive from IVF patients, plastic surgery patients, and cosmetic surgeries.
Hair plantation,
dental
hair plantation.
and hair implantation.
Yeah.
They mostly come from Europe to here.
I see.
But those who need advanced treatment mostly come from Africa and Middle East.
I see. Great. And my fifth burning question is, why Ankara? Because we all know that the Istanbul is bigger and alpha city in all the well-known city in all over the world. But why Ankara for the health tourism?
That's very important. Also, Ankara. First of all, Ankara is the capital city of Turkey, and it is somehow, according to the Istanbul, its population is less than that. It's the capital city, is where most strong institutions are here. For example, health institutions are here. More advanced doctors are here. Besides that, there's the pricing issue. Ankara is much cheaper than Istanbul and Antalya and those touristic areas. So here you can get a very high, very good quality doctors and hospitals with a reasonable price, and also even accommodation is and also transportation is are all more suitable here in Ankara.
Cheap and easier, right?
Cheaper and easier.
Yeah.
And the other thing which is very important for us is that I know Ankara more. So I have a good network of professors, professionals,
your second
hospitalists. That's why we started from here. So, but we have a branch in Istanbul because our patient is preferred in Istanbul, but the main is Ankara.
Headquarters is in Ankara. Yeah, I see. Then, if you like to actually have is a good healthcare with a cheap price, then you would like to you need to come to Ankara and see the Abdülkadir from Medicine Company. Okay, thank you very much, Abdülkadir. For your contribution. We will continue with Halil for last 5 questions. You would like to say anything before leave?
Thank you. I would like to thank you for your program. I think it's very important to program because so many African patients and African countries don't have really good information and from the health tourism in Turkey. So Africa is very important for health tourism in Turkey, and we should focus on that areas, not only from the other countries, but this is because affordability, accessibility, and also the quality of the cost, the infrastructure, is all these are something attracting more patients. So I think it is to continue like this program is and to explore more other companies and more other contributions. Thank you for this program, Dr. Professor.
Thank you. It's our pleasure. Now actually we have a short break for advertisement. Please stay with us. Thank you very much for staying with us. Now, this is the second part of our program, and we have another guest for the second part, and he will answer another 5 questions for your actually health problems, which will be the health tourism actually. Mr. Halil Mohammed, actually he is the director of marketing and PR in Medisom company. So as I mentioned before, he will answer 5 another questions. Welcome, Halil, to our program.
Thank you very much for welcoming me.
Yes, the first question will be, which kind of challenges patients may have during the process in terms of the health tourism?
The challenges are quite a lot, really, when it comes to the health, because the biggest one that I can pick is actually the visa process, because a large number of
visa process, right?
Visa process,
okay.
Yes, because large number of our patients, they come from East Africa, Somalia, Ethiopia, and especially Somalia. That's the biggest number. We also receive patients from America, North America, and Europe, but they haven't got any problem with the visa. Those patients, when it comes to Somalia or East Africa, in the visa is a big difficult, really, because at some point it might not be with the embassy the problem. Sometimes it might be the actual staff before the embassy. That's what we could think, and I think if in visa process is kind of solved, and there will be a quite big number of patients that could come to Turkey for the health.
Oh, this is an important point.
It's very important. The other challenges that I can point is also the language barrier. The language barrier, because unfortunately, in majority of our friends that we work with in Turkey, they only speak Turkish. And when people come here, some hospitals, the healthcare here is very amazing, but the issue is when the patient comes to the hospital, they might find difficulty with that understanding, also translating the documentations that they have. So also the language barrier is another big
But you assist the patients during your service in this process, right?
Yes.
I mean, in terms of the language and translations.
That's correct. We do help them, but as you can imagine, the number of patients coming are quite big, and we won't be able to provide translators to every person. So in number of hospitals here, they haven't provided that yet, but they are also in the process of getting a translator. So there's English, Arabic, and Somali are the main 3 languages that our company deals with. So I will urge my colleagues in the hospitals in Turkey to also take that into consideration.
Do you have some tricks actually for facilitate the visa process? Like, let's say they give some deposit, some money, and then you can get some more easier visa process. Or do you have some kind of tricks for our audience?
Yes, we have representatives in all these countries, in Africa, North America, and all these places, and we don't directly involve the embassy because we don't work with the embassies.
I see.
Completely, we don't work with them, but we try and advise the patients what kind of documentations they need. We know those by the length of time that we were working in the process. So we make sure that they got the correct money, that they have in criminal checks, the medical record, the vaccinations. We make sure that they are well equipped so that they can go to the embassy ready. But still, we see the odd cases where a very ill patient still get refused by the visa.
I see.
We always get these cases.
I see. Actually, generally, my 7th question will be, this is the second question for you. How do you recruit the patients from the other countries?
And we have representatives in all these countries. We have offices in Somalia, especially in Mogadishu, Hargeisa, and Garowe, the big cities. And our offices make sure that the patients can and get the process as easy as possible. Because in the first place, we give them in kind of a small lecture within our offices and explain to them exactly what they need to take for the process from A to Z. And we make sure we prepare them in advance.
I see. Then you have some branches in some contact persons in your some different cities, and then they after explaining the process, they send the patient to you, and then you deal with all of the problems in here in Turkey and assist them.
That's correct. As soon as the patient comes to the airport, we make sure we receive them and make sure they got the accommodation. We make the appointment for the hospital. We try and arrange a translator. In most cases, we don't do that every single time, but 9 out of 10, we still do. We make sure that patients understand what process they're going through, because that's really important. An old lady who never seen a hospital, she doesn't know what she's going through, so she's frightened, she's scared.
I see.
So we make sure that we explain to the local language and make sure the whole process is clear.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Great, great. My actually eighth question will be: how do you manage the problem if a medical complication occurred? Because probably the patients will afraid of to have a kind of problem, a complication, and then they probably actually solve this problem in here in Turkey probably. How do you manage if this kind of problem exists?
And since we've been doing this system or this work for quite a number of years, and what we make sure is, first of all, luckily we are led by medical professionals. Me and Dr. Abdigadir,
good experts,
very experts. We're both medically trained, and so we make sure that we make the correct connection between the patient and the hospital, the correct specialty. If somebody needs a particular specialty, we make that connection. So we don't just take them to the hospital, because obviously the hospital has so many departments. So because of making sure the correct specialty are found in translators, and also explaining the patient the situation. But if something goes wrong, we have a good communication with the hospital management, with the doctors. We know them very well, so we make sure and resolve the problem.
Okay, then your hospital or your doctor cover the problem, and then of course if there is a surgery, then you may have complications. So this is the problem, but at least you are able, actually you have a ability to actually decrease the risk of complications by finding a correct doctor for the correct problem or something like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, good match.
Yes, okay. As I said, because of our expertise, we both worked in hospitals in the clinic field, so we can see and picture out the process. So if the patient's going there in operation, we explain to them, this will happen, this will happen, this is what you need to do. So step by step, slowly, we explain. So we inform the patient clearly.
Great.
And that minimizes the problem.
Great. My question, ninth question will be, what service do you offer for the patients in your company?
And as I mentioned earlier, we provide them a free consultation, first of all. We don't charge them at all for consultation. And we make sure that they get help with the necessary documentation in this country. Because when they come here, they have to apply in residence permit, they have to rent accommodation. All these, we give them assistance. We make sure we provide transportation from the airport to the airport.
Then you help them for the logistics as well, not for the healthcare.
Logistics as well as in the post-treatment consultation. So when they finish here, for example, if somebody gets a kidney transplant, and they go back to Somalia, they still need the medication.
Yeah.
constant medication.
Yeah.
We make sure we send those, we take care of that without cost. So we don't
Great.
charge them anything.
Great. And Abdulkadir mentioned that you also may assist them for leisure activities as well, because sometimes the patient coming for some chaperone and other things and so on, they would like to have some kind of different kind of touristic place visiting, and Cappadocia like Antalya or Istanbul. You assist for this as well, right?
Absolutely, yes. That's a big thing, because majority of patients, when they feel better and they finish the treatment, they like to discover Turkey. They like to see places like hot places, see nice places, museums. So we arrange those activities as well.
Great, huge work. Great,
Yeah,
great.
it's very big.
My last question, the 10th one, will be: what is your recommendation if a patient would like to come to Turkey for healthcare?
And my biggest recommendation is, first of all, Turkey is a very good country. Please come. And I will also suggest, sincerely, I will suggest the cost should be looked at. I mean, the healthcare cost, because that's, from my experience, that seems to be going up.
I see.
In the agencies that this situation concerns, I will urge them to look into that, because, for example, patients from Somalia, and the biggest worry they have is the cost.
I see.
If we don't look that, as a company, as a country in Turkey, we will lose a lot of patients. There are other big players in the market, for example, India.
I see. It's cheaper.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Turkey has very good healthcare, but the cost needs to be looked at. I will advise that.
I see. And then a cost may change doctor to doctor, city to city. For example, Ankara is cheaper than Istanbul, or sometimes company to company. So that's why they need to check before coming here.
Yes.
Which doctor, which city, which company, and optimize their budget, right?
Yes, because of one of the biggest services that we actually do is to find the most affordable service for them. So we compare. If the patient comes, we send the recommendations to at least 3 hospitals.
I see.
And pick the correct, the most suitable one and the most affordable one.
I see. I see. I can understand. Great. Thank you very much for answering our questions. Would you like to have some? If you have, you may want to actually give some last words for our audience.
Yes, I will add. As I said, thank you very much again for the interview. And this was a pleasure. In Turkey, it's a fantastic country when it comes to the healthcare, when it comes to the facility, and the language. As we mentioned earlier, the language is a little issue. Apart from that, we have a very fantastic country here. I will welcome the patients, and I would like to thank our patients as a company for coming, for using our service. We'd like to thank them.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Khalil,
for the great program. And I would like to thank our audience for joining us today. We already answered 10 questions about the health tourism in our program. Thank you very much for joining us, and stay safe until the next program.